Hareb Beruach, Sword of the Spirit. Interpreted and narrated by Wendy. Leviticus, Chapter 1.
And YHWH called unto Moshe, and spoke to him out of the appointed tent, saying, Speak to the children of Yisrael, and say to them, Adam, when any of you bring an offering unto YHWH, ye will bring your offering from the livestock, from the herd, and from the flock. If his offering is an ascension offering of the herd, let him offer a male without blemish. He will offer it at the door of the appointed tent, willingly, before YHWH. Moreover, he will put his hand upon the head of the ascension offering, and it will be accepted for him to make an atonement for him. Then he will kill the young bovine before YHWH. Also, Aharon's sons, the priests, will bring the blood and sprinkle the blood upon the altar that is by the door of the appointed tent, round about. And he will skin the ascension offering, and cut it into pieces. And the sons of Aharon, the priest, will put fire upon the altar, and lay the wood in order upon the fire. And the priests, Aharon's sons, will lay the parts, the head and the fat, in order upon the wood that is on the fire, which is upon the altar. Then he will wash its innards and its legs in water, and the priest will burn all upon the altar, to be an ascension offering by fire, a sweet savor unto YHWH. Moreover, if his offering is of the flocks, of the sheep, or of the goats for an ascension offering, he will bring it, a male without blemish. And he will kill it on the northern side of the altar before YHWH. And the priests, Aharon's sons, will sprinkle its blood upon the altar round about. Then he will cut it into its pieces, with its head and its fat. And the priest will lay them in order on the wood that is on the fire, which is upon the altar. Also he will wash the innards and the shanks with water. Then the priest will bring it all and burn it upon the altar. It is an ascension offering. An offering made by fire is a sweet savor unto YHWH. And if fowl is an ascension offering unto YHWH, then he will bring his offering from turtle doves, or from young pigeons. And the priest will bring it to the altar, and wring off its head, and burn it on the altar, and its blood will be wrung out at the side of the altar. And he will pluck away its crop with its feathers, and cast it beside the altar on the eastern side, by the place of the ashes, and cleave its wings, but he will not divide it completely. And the priest will burn it upon the altar, upon the wood that is upon the fire. It is an ascension offering by fire, a sweet savor unto YHWH.
Chapter 2.
And when any will offer a gift offering unto YHWH, his offering will be of fine flour, and he will pour oil upon it, and put frankincense on it. And he will bring it to Aharon's sons, the priests. Then he will take from it a handful of its flour, and its oil with all its frankincense, and the priest will burn it. It is a memorial upon the altar. An offering by fire is a sweet savor unto YHWH. Moreover, the remnant of the gift offering is for Aharon and his sons, a holy of holies from the offerings of YHWH made by fire. And if you offer a gift offering baked in the oven, it will be unleavened cakes of fine flour mingled with oil, or unleavened wafers anointed with oil. If your gift is upon a pan, your offering will be of fine flour, unleavened, mingled with oil. You will break it into pieces and pour oil upon it. It is a gift. Also, if you give from a covered pan, you will make your offering of fine flour, with oil. Then you will bring the gift that is made of these things unto YHWH, and when it is presented to the priest, he will bring it to the altar. And the priest will take from the gift offering. It is a memorial. The altar will burn a sweet savor by fire unto YHWH. And that which remains of the gift is for Aharon and his sons, a holy of holies from the offerings of YHWH made by fire. No gift offering which you will bring unto YHWH will be made with leaven, for you will not burn leaven, nor any honey, in any offering of YHWH made by fire. As for the offering of the first fruits, you will offer them unto YHWH, but they will not be burnt on the altar for a sweet savor. And all of your gift offerings will be with salt. You will not lack the salt of the covenant of your Elohim from your gift offering. You will offer salt with all your offerings. And if you offer a gift of your first fruits unto YHWH, you will offer grain that is beaten out of full heads and dried by fire. This is your first fruits gift. Also you will put oil upon it, and lay frankincense on it. It is a gift. Furthermore, the priest will burn the memorial, its beaten grain, and its oil, with all of its frankincense by fire unto YHWH.
Chapter 3.
And if his offering is a sacrifice of restorations, if he offers it from the herd, whether a male or female, he will offer it without blemish before YHWH. Also he will lay his hand upon the head of his offering, and kill it at the door of the appointed tent. Then the sons of Aharon, the priests, will sprinkle the blood upon the altar round about. Moreover, he will offer from the sacrifice of restorations by fire unto YHWH the fat that conceals the innards, and all the fat that is upon the innards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and the coal above the liver with the kidneys, he will remove. Then the sons of Aharon will burn it on the altar upon the ascension offering, which is upon the wood that is on the fire. An offering made by fire is a sweet savor unto YHWH. And if his offering for the sacrifice of restorations unto YHWH is of the flock, male or female, he will offer it without blemish. If he offers a lamb for his offering, then he will offer it before YHWH. Also he will lay his hand upon the head of his offering, and kill it before the appointed tent. Then the sons of Aharon will sprinkle its blood upon the altar round about. Furthermore, he will offer the sacrifice of restorations by fire unto YHWH. He will remove its fat, the entire tail near the backbone, and the fat that conceals the innards, and all the fat that is upon the innards, the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and the coal above the liver with the kidneys. He will remove it. Then the priest will burn it upon the altar. The fuel of the fire is for YHWH. Moreover, if his offering is a goat, then he will offer in the presence of YHWH, and he will lay his hand upon the head of it, and kill it before the appointed tent. Then the sons of Aharon will sprinkle its blood upon the altar round about, and he will offer from it his offering by fire unto YHWH, the fat that conceals the innards, and all the fat that is upon the innards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and the coal above the liver with the kidneys, he will remove. Then the priest will burn them upon the altar, fueling the fire, a sweet savor. All the fat will be for YHWH. It will be a perpetual custom for your generations, throughout all your dwellings, that you do not eat fat nor blood.
Chapter 4.
And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Yeshariel, saying, If a soul sins through ignorance against any of the commandments of Yahuwah, which ought not to be done, yet has done against any of them, or if the anointed priest sins according to the sin of the people, then let him bring for his sin, which he has sinned, a bull, a descendant of the bovine, without blemish unto Yahuwah for the sin. Moreover, he will bring the bull to the door of the appointed tent before Yahuwah. Then he will lay his hand upon the head of the bull, and kill the bull before Yahuwah. Furthermore, the anointed priest will take from the blood of the bull, and bring it to the appointed tent. And the priest will dip his finger in the blood, and sprinkle the blood 7 times before Yahuwah, before the veil of the sanctuary. And the priest will put the blood on the horns of the altar of sweet incense before Yahuwah, which is in the appointed tent, and pour all the blood of the bull at the bottom of the altar of the ascension offering, which is at the door of the appointed tent. Moreover, he will lift all of the fat of the bull from it for the sin offering, and the fat that conceals the innards, and all the fat that is upon the innards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and the caul above the liver, with the kidneys. He will remove it like it is lifted from the ox of the sacrifice of restorations, and the priest will burn them upon the altar of the ascension offering. But the skin of the bull, and all its flesh, with its head, and with its shanks, and its innards, and its dung, the whole bull he will carry forth out of the camp to a clean place, where the ashes are poured out, and burn it upon the wood with fire. Where the ashes are poured out, it will burn. Also, if the whole congregation of Yeshariel goes astray, yet the word is hidden from the eyes of the assembly, and they did any of the commandments of Yahuwah that should not be done, and are ashamed, once the sin that they have sinned against is known, then the congregation will offer a bull for the sin, a descendant of the bovine. Therefore they will bring it before the appointed tent, and the elders of the congregation will lay their hands upon the head of the bull before Yahuwah, and the bull will be killed before Yahuwah. Then the anointed priest will bring the blood of the bull to the appointed tent, and the priest will dip his finger in some of the blood, and sprinkle it 7 times before Yahuwah, before the veil, and he will put some of the blood upon the horns of the altar that is before Yahuwah, which is in the appointed tent. He will pour out all the blood at the bottom of the altar of the ascension offering, which is at the door of the appointed tent, and he will take all the fat from it, and burn it upon the altar. Then he will do with the bull like he did with the bull for the sin offering. So too he will do with this, and the priest will make atonement for them. Then we will forgive them. So too he will carry forth the bull outside the camp, and burn it as he burned the first bull. It is a sin offering for the congregation. When a ruler has sinned and done any of the commandments of Yahuwah his Elohim, which should not be done by mistake, and is ashamed, or if his sin, in which he sinned, comes to his knowledge, he will bring his offering, a kid from the goats, a male without blemish. Then he will lay his hand upon the head of the goat, and kill it in the place where they killed the ascension offering before Yahuwah. It is a sin offering. And the priest will take the blood of the sin offering with his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of the ascension offering, and pour out its blood at the bottom of the altar of the ascension offering. And he will burn all its fat upon the altar, like the fat of the sacrifice of restorations. And the priest will make an atonement for him concerning his sin. Then we will forgive him. Moreover, if a person among the people of the land sins through ignorance, while doing any of the commandments of YHWH, which ought not to be done, and is ashamed, or if his sin, which he has sinned, comes to his knowledge, then he will bring his offering, a kid of the goats, a female without blemish, for his sin which he has sinned. And he will lay his hand upon the head of the sin offering, and slay the sin offering in the place of the ascension offering. And the priest will take its blood with his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of the ascension offering, and pour out all its blood at the bottom of the altar. And he will remove all its fat, like the fat that is removed from the sacrifice of restorations. And the priest will burn it upon the altar for a sweet savor unto YHWH. And the priest will make an atonement for him. Then we will forgive him. Also, if he brings a lamb for a sin offering, he will bring a female without blemish. And he will lay his hand upon the head of the sin offering, and slay it for a sin offering in the place where they killed the ascension offering. And the priest will take the blood of the sin offering with his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of the ascension offering, and pour out all of its blood at the bottom of the altar. And he will remove all its fat, like the fat of the lamb is removed from the sacrifice of restorations. And the priest will burn them upon the altar, according to the offerings made by fire unto YHWH. And the priest will make an atonement for his sin that he has committed. Then we will forgive him.
Chapter 5.
And a soul who sins, yet heard the utterance of an oath, and someone is a witness, whether seen or by knowing, if he does not report it, then he bears the iniquity. Or if a soul touches any unclean thing, whether it is the carcass of an unclean beast, or the carcass of an unclean livestock, or the carcass of an unclean creeping thing, yet, if it is hidden from him, he also will be unclean and ashamed. Or if he touches the uncleanliness of Adam, whatever the uncleanliness in which he is defiled, and it is hidden from him, once he knows, then he will be ashamed. Or if a soul swears, pronouncing with lips to do good or evil, unto all that Adam carelessly declares with an oath, yet he forgets, when he knows, then he will be ashamed for one of these. And it will be, when he is ashamed in one of these, he will confess that he has sin upon it. Therefore he will bring his shame unto YHWH for the sin that he has sinned, a female from the flock, a lamb or a kid of the goats, for a sin offering, and the priest will make an atonement for him concerning his sin. But if he is not able to bring a lamb, then he will bring for the shame that he has committed 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons unto YHWH, one for a sin offering and the other for an ascension offering. And he will bring them to the priest, who will offer that which is for the sin offering first, and wring off its head from its neck, but will not divide it completely. Then he will sprinkle the blood of the sin offering upon the side of the altar, and the rest of the blood will be wrung out at the bottom of the altar. It is a sin offering. Next he will offer the second, the ascension offering, as a judgment, and the priest will make an atonement for him for his sin which he has sinned. Then we will forgive him. But if he is not able to bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, then he who sinned will bring for an offering a 10th part of an ephah of fine flour for a sin offering. He will not put oil upon it, nor will he put frankincense upon it, because it is a sin offering. Then he will bring it to the priest, and the priest will take a handful of it. It is a memorial, and the smoke of the altar will ascend by fire unto YHWH. It is a sin offering. And the priest will make an atonement for him concerning the sin that he has sinned in one of these. And we will forgive him, and it will belong to the priest like a gift. Moreover, YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, a person who is unfaithful and sins by mistake from the holiness of YHWH, thus he will bring for his shame unto YHWH a ram without blemish from the flocks, with your estimation by shekels of silver, after the shekel of the sanctuary for the shame. And he who sins from the holy things he will restore, and a fifth part will be added, and he will give it to the priest. Then the priest will make an atonement for him with the ram of shame. Thus we will forgive him. Therefore, if a soul sins and commits any of these things which are forbidden to do by the commandments of YHWH, though he did not know, still yet he will be ashamed and bear his iniquity. Thus he will bring a ram without blemish from the flock, by your estimation for the shame, unto the priest. And the priest will make an atonement for him concerning his ignorance, in which he erred and knew not. Then we will forgive him. It is a shaming. Surely he was shameful unto YHWH. Moreover, YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, if a soul sins and is unfaithful with YHWH, and deceives his neighbor with what was delivered to him by hand, or by theft, or he extorted his neighbor, or he found that which was lost and lied about it, and swore falsely, in any of all these, which Adam does, sin is in him. And it will come to pass, when he has sinned and becomes ashamed, that he will restore that which he stole, or that which he extorted, or that which he received deceitfully, or the lost which he found, or all that he swore upon himself to deceive. He will restore the principal and add a fifth part more, giving it to him whom it belongs in the day of his shame. And he will bring his shame unto YHWH, a ram without blemish out of the flock, by your estimation for the shame, unto the priest. And the priest will make an atonement for him before YHWH, and we will forgive him for all he has done, for its shame.
Chapter 6.
And YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, command Aharon and his sons, saying, this is the teaching of the ascension offering. It is the ascension offering because of the burning upon the altar all night until morning. Thus the fire of the altar will be burning with it. And the priest will put on his linen garment and his linen briefs. He will put it upon his body and take up the ashes, which the fire has consumed with the ascension offering on the altar. Then he will put them beside the altar. Furthermore, he will take off his garments and put on other garments, and carry forth the ashes outside of the camp to a clean place. And the fire upon the altar will be burning with it. It will not be put out. And the priest will burn wood on it every morning, and lay the ascension offering upon it in order, and he will burn on it the fat of the restorations. The fire will always be burning upon the altar. It will not go out. And this is the teaching of the gift offering. The sons of Aharon will offer it before YHWH, before the altar. And he will take a handful from the flour of the gift, and its oil, and all the frankincense which is upon the gift, and he will burn it upon the altar for a sweet savor. It is a memorial unto YHWH. Also Aharon and his sons will eat the remainder of it. The unleavened bread, it will be eaten in the holy place. They will eat it in the court of the appointed tent. It will not be baked with leaven. I have given their portion of my offerings made by fire. It is a holy of holies. It is like the sin offering and like the shame offering. All the males among the children of Aharon will eat it. It is a custom forever in your generations, concerning the offerings of YHWH made by fire. Everyone who touches them will be holy. Then YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, This is the offering of Aharon and his sons, which they will offer unto YHWH in the day when he is anointed, the 10th part of an ephah of fine flour for a perpetual gift, half of it in the morning, and half of it at night. It will be made in a pan mingled with oil. You will bring the gift broken in pieces. You will offer for a sweet savor unto YHWH. And the priest, the anointed one of his sons, who is beneath him, will offer it. It is an everlasting custom unto YHWH. All of it will be burnt, and all of the gift of the priests will be completely burnt. It will not be eaten. Then YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Aharon and to his sons, saying, This is the teaching of the sin offering. In the place where the ascension offering is killed, the sin offering will be killed before YHWH. It is a holy of holies. The priest who offers it for sin will eat it in the holy place. It will be eaten in the court of the appointed tent. Whatever touches its flesh will be set apart, and when its blood is sprinkled upon any garment, you will wash that which was sprinkled in the holy place. But the earthen vessel in which it is sodden will be broken. However, if it is sodden in a copper pot, it will be both scoured and rinsed with water. All the males among the priests will eat it. It is a holy of holies. However, all sin offering that is brought into the appointed tent to make atonement with the holy concerning death will not be eaten. It will be burnt in the fire. Likewise, this is the teaching of the shame offering. It is a holy of holies. In the place where they kill the ascension offering, they will kill the shame offering, and he will sprinkle its blood upon the altar round about, and he will offer from it all its fat, the tail, and the fat that conceals the innards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is on them, which is by the flanks, and he will remove the coal above the liver with the kidneys. And the priest will burn them upon the altar for an offering by fire unto YHWH. It is a shame offering. Every male among the priests will eat it. It will be eaten in the holy place. It is a holy of holies. Like the sin offering, so too is the shame offering. There is one teaching for them. The priest who makes atonement with it, unto him it will belong. Also, the priest who offers the ascension offering for any man, the priest will have the skin of the ascension offering which he offered for himself. And all the gift that is baked in the oven, and all that is prepared in the pan, and in the covered pan, will belong to the priest who offers it. Also, every gift mingled with oil or dry, it will belong unto all the sons of Aharon, each like the other. And this is the teaching of the sacrifice of restorations, which he will offer unto YHWH. If he offers as a thanksgiving, then he will offer upon the sacrifice of the thanksgiving unleavened cakes mingled with oil, and unleavened wafers anointed with oil, and flour cakes mingled with oil. Besides the cakes of unleavened bread, he will offer his offering upon the sacrifice of the thanksgiving of restorations. And from it he will offer 1 cake from each offering to exalt unto YHWH. It will belong to the priest who sprinkled the blood of the restorations. Also, the flesh of his sacrifice of the thanksgiving of restorations will be eaten the same day that it is offered. He will not leave any of it until morning. However, if the sacrifice of his offering is a vow or a voluntary offering, it will be eaten the same day that he offers his sacrifice. Also, the remainder of it may be eaten the next day. But the remainder of the flesh from the sacrifice will be burnt with fire. And if any of the flesh of his sacrifice of restorations is eaten at all on the third day, it will not be accepted, nor will it be credited to him whom offers it. It will be an abomination, and the soul who eats of it will bear his iniquity. Moreover, the flesh that touches anything unclean will not be eaten. It will be burnt with fire, yet of the clean flesh all will be eaten. Also, the soul who eats of the flesh of the sacrifice of restorations, that is unto YHWH, having his uncleanness upon him, even that soul will be cut off from his people. Moreover, the soul who touches anything unclean, the uncleanness of Adam, or an unclean beast, or an unclean abomination, yet eats the flesh of the sacrifice of restorations, which are unto YHWH, even that soul will be cut off from his people. Then YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Yeshariel, saying, You will eat no manner of fat from ox, or sheep, or goat. Also the fat of the beast that dies of itself, and the fat of that which is torn by beasts, may be used in another use, but you will in no wise eat it. For whoever eats the fat of the beast that he offers by fire unto YHWH, the soul who eats it will be cut off from his people. Moreover, you will not eat any type of blood from fowl or beast in any of your dwellings. Every soul who eats any type of blood, that soul will be cut off from his people. Then YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Yeshariel, saying, He who offers the sacrifice of restorations unto YHWH will bring his offering to YHWH from his sacrifice of restorations. His hands will bring the fire of YHWH. He will bring the fat upon the breast, so that the breast may be shaken. It is a shake offering before YHWH. And the priest will burn the fat upon the altar. But the breast will belong to Aharon and his sons. Then you will give the right shoulder unto the priest, to exalt from your sacrifice of restorations. He who is among the sons of Aharon, who offers the blood and the fat of restorations, will have the right shoulder for a portion. For the shaken breast and the exalted shoulder I have taken from the children of Yeshariel, from the sacrifices of their restorations, and have given them to Aharon the priest, and to his sons, by an everlasting custom from among the children of Yeshariel. This is the portion of the anointing of Aharon, and of the anointing of his sons, out of the offerings of YHWH made by fire, in the day he presented them to minister unto YHWH in the priest's office, which YHWH commanded to be given to those from the children of Yeshariel, in the day that he anointed them, and everlasting custom throughout their generations. This is the teaching of the ascension offering, the gift offering, and the sin offering, and the shame offering, and the fulfillment, and the sacrifice of restorations, which YHWH commanded Moshe in Mount Sinai, during the day that he commanded the children of Yeshariel to offer their offerings unto YHWH in the wilderness of Sinai.
Chapter 7.
And YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Take Aharon and his sons with him, and the garments, and the anointing oil, and a bull for a sin offering, and 2 rams, and a basket of unleavened breads. Then gather all the congregation together at the door of the appointed tent. So Moshe did as YHWH commanded him, and the assembly was gathered together at the door of the appointed tent. Thus Moshe said to the congregation, "This is the thing which YHWH commanded to be done." Therefore Moshe brought Aharon and his sons. Then he washed them with water. Moreover, he put the coat upon him, and girded him with the girdle. And he clothed him with the robe, and he put the ephod upon him. Then he girded him with the intricate girdle of the ephod, and bound it to him with it. And he put the breastplate upon him. Also he put in the breastplate the Urim and the Thummim. And he put the turban upon his head. Also upon the turban he put the golden plate of the Kodesh Nazir facing him, as YHWH commanded Moshe. And Moshe took the anointing oil and anointed the tabernacle and all that was in it. Thus he sanctified them. And he sprinkled it upon the altar 7 times, and anointed the altar, and all its utensils, both the laver and its base, to sanctify them. Then he poured the anointing oil upon Aharon's head, and anointed him, to sanctify him. Furthermore, Moshe brought Aharon's sons, and put coats upon them, and girded them with girdles, and put headdresses upon them, as YHWH commanded Moshe. And he brought the bull for the sin offering. So Aharon and his sons laid their hands upon the head of the bull for the sin offering, but he slew it. Then Moshe took the blood, and put it upon the horns of the altar round about with his finger, and purified the altar, and poured the blood at the bottom of the altar, and sanctified it, to make reconciliation upon it. Then he took all the fat that was upon the innards, and the caul of the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and their fat. Then Moshe burned it upon the altar. But the bull and its hide, its flesh, and its dung, he burnt with fire outside the camp, as YHWH commanded Moshe. And he brought the ram for the ascension offering. So Aharon and his sons laid their hands upon the head of the ram, but he killed it. Then Moshe sprinkled the blood upon the altar round about. Moreover, he cut the ram into pieces. Then Moshe burnt the head, and the pieces, and the fat. And he washed the innards and the shanks in water. And Moshe burnt the whole ram upon the altar. It was an ascension offering, for a sweet savor, an offering made by fire unto YHWH, as YHWH commanded Moshe. Then he brought the other ram, the ram of fulfillment. So Aharon and his sons laid their hands upon the head of the ram, but he killed it. Then Moshe took its blood, and put it upon the tip of Aharon's right ear, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. Moreover, he brought the sons of Aharon. Then Moshe put the blood upon the tip of their right ears, and upon the thumb of their right hands, and upon the great toes of their right feet. And Moshe sprinkled the blood upon the altar round about. Furthermore, he took the fat, and the tail, and all the fat that was upon the innards, and the caul of the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and their fat, and the right shoulder. Also, out of the basket of unleavened bread, which was before YHWH, he took 1 unleavened cake, and 1 cake of anointed bread, and 1 wafer, and put them on the fat, and upon the right shoulder. And he gave all upon the hands of Aharon, and upon the hands of his sons, and shook them for a shake offering before YHWH. Then Moshe took them from their hands, and burned them on the altar upon the ascension of fulfillment. It is a sweet savor by fire unto YHWH. Moreover, Musha took the breast and shook it for a shake offering before YHWH. Musha's portion was from the ram of fulfillment, as YHWH commanded Musha. Then Musha took from the anointing oil and from the blood which was upon the altar, and sprinkled it upon Aharon, and upon his garments, and upon his sons, and upon his sons' garments with him. Next he sanctified Aharon and his garments, and his sons garments with him. Furthermore, Musha said to Aharon and to his sons, Boil the flesh at the door of the appointed tent, and there eat it with the bread that is in the basket of fulfillment, as I am commanded, saying, Aharon and his sons will eat it, and that which remains of the flesh and of the bread you will burn with fire. And you will not go out of the door of the appointed tent during 7 days, until the days of your fulfillment has ended. For in 7 days he will fulfill you, as he has done this day. YHWH has commanded to make an atonement for you. Therefore you will abide at the door of the appointed tent, day and night, for 7 days, and keep the charge of YHWH, that you do not die, for thus I am has commanded. Then Aharon and his sons did all the things which YHWH commanded by the hand of Moshe.
Chapter 8.
And it came to pass on the 8th day that Moshe called Aharon and his sons, and the elders of Yeshariel. And he said to Aharon, Take a young calf, a descendant of the bovine, for a sin offering, and a ram without blemish, for an ascension offering, and offer before YHWH. Also you will speak to the children of Yeshariel, saying, Take a kid of the goats for a sin offering, also a calf and a lamb of the first year without blemish for an ascension offering, also an ox and a ram for sacrifices of restorations before YHWH, and a gift mingled with oil. For today YHWH will appear to you. Therefore they brought that which Moshe commanded before the appointed tent, and all the congregation drew near and stood before YHWH. And Moshe said, This is the thing which YHWH commanded that you will do, and the glory of YHWH will appear unto you. Then Moshe said to Aharon, Go to the altar and offer your sin offering and your ascension offering, and make atonement for yourself and for the people. Therefore offer the offering of the people and make atonement for them, as YHWH commanded. So Aharon went to the altar and slew the calf of the sin offering, which was for himself. And the sons of Aharon brought the blood to him. Then he dipped his finger in the blood, and put it upon the horns of the altar, and poured out the blood at the bottom of the altar. But the fat, and the kidneys, and the coal above the liver of the sin offering he burnt upon the altar, as YHWH commanded Moshe. Also he burnt the flesh and the hide with fire outside the camp. Then he slew the ascension offering, and the sons of Aharon presented the blood to him, which he sprinkled upon the altar round about. And they presented the ascension offering to him with its pieces and the head, and he burnt it upon the altar. And he washed the innards and the shanks. Then he burnt them upon the ascension offering upon the altar. Moreover, he brought the offering of the people, and took the goat, which was the sin offering for the people, and slew it, and offered it for sin, like the first. And he brought the ascension offering, and offered it according to the manner. Then he brought the gift, and took a handful from it, and burnt it upon the altar, beside the morning ascension offering. Also, he slew the ox and the ram, the sacrifices of restorations, which was for the people. And the sons of Aharon presented the blood to him, which he sprinkled upon the altar round about. Moreover, the fat of the ox and the ram, the tail, and the diaphragm, and the kidneys, and the caul of the liver. Thus they put the fat upon the breasts, and burnt the fat upon the altar. Then Aharon shook the breasts, and the right shoulder, for a shake offering before YHWH, as Moshe commanded. Next Aharon raised his hand towards the people, and endowed them. Then he came down from offering the sin offering, and the ascension offering, and the restoration offerings. Moreover, Moshe and Aharon went into the appointed tent. Then they came out and endowed the people. And the glory of YHWH appeared to all the people. Then a fire burst forth from before YHWH, and consumed the ascension offering, and the fat upon the altar. When all the people saw, they shouted, and fell upon their faces.
Chapter 9.
And Nadab and Abihu, the sons of Aharon, each of them took his censer, and they put fire in it. Then they put incense in it, and offered unauthorized fire before YHWH, which he did not command. And fire went out, fire from YHWH, and devoured them. Thus they died before YHWH. Then Moshe said to Aharon, "This is what YHWH spoke, saying, Even with those near me I am separate, and unto all the people before me I will be honored." Therefore Aharon held his peace. Then Moshe called Mishael and Elitzapan, the sons of Auziel, the uncle of Aharon, and said to them, "Come near, carry your brethren from before the sanctuary out of the camp." So they went near and carried them in their coats out of the camp, as Moshe had said. Then Moshe said to Aharon, also to Eleazar and Ithamar, his sons, "Do not cover your heads, nor rend your clothes, lest you die, and lest wrath comes upon all the people. But let your brethren, the whole house of Yeshariel, mourn the burning that has kindled YHWH. Also you will not go out from the door of the appointed tent, lest you die, for the anointing oil of YHWH is upon you." Thus they did according to the word of Moshe. Moreover, YHWH spoke to Aharon, saying, "Do not drink wine nor strong drink, you nor your sons with you, when you go into the appointed tent, lest you die. It is a custom forever throughout your generations. For there is a difference between those who are holy and the common, and between the clean and the unclean, so that you may teach the children of Yeshariel all the customs which YHWH has spoken to them by the hand of Moshe." Then Moshe spoke to Aharon, also to Eleazar and Ithamar, his sons who were left. "Take the gift that remains of the offerings of YHWH made by fire, and eat it without leaven beside the altar, for it is a holy of holies. And you will eat it in the holy place, because it is your portion, and the portion of your sons, from the fire of YHWH. For this I have commanded. Also you will eat the shaken breast and the exalted shoulder in a clean place, you and your sons and your daughters with you, for they are your portion, and the portion of your descendants, given from the sacrifices of restorations by the children of Yeshariel. They will offer the exalted shoulder and the shaken breasts upon the fat drippings, for surely you will shake before YHWH, and it will be yours, and your sons with you, by a custom forever, as YHWH has commanded." Then Moshe diligently sought the goat of the sin offering, and saw that it was burnt. Thus he was angry with Alazer and Aitmar, the remaining sons of Aharun, saying, "Why have you not eaten the sin offering in the holy place, seeing it is a holy of holies, and it was given unto you to bear the iniquity of the congregation, to make atonement for them before YHWH? Look, its blood was not brought into the holy. Surely you should eat it in the holy as I commanded." So Aharon said to Moshe, "Behold, this day they have offered their sin offering and their ascension offering before YHWH. Also, you set them down before me. Therefore, I ate the sin offering today. Will this not be acceptable in the sight of YHWH?" Thus, when Moshe heard this, he was content. Then a fire burst forth from before YHWH and consumed the ascension offering and the fat upon the altar. When all the people saw, they shouted and fell upon their faces.
Chapter 10.
And YHWH spoke to Moshe and Aharon, saying to them, "Speak to the children of Yisrael, saying, These are the beasts which you will eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatever parts the hoof and is cloven-footed, chewing the cud among the beasts, that you may eat. However, these you will not eat, those that chew the cud, or those that divide the hoof. The camel, because it chews the cud, but does not divide the hoof, it is unclean to you. And the rock horax, because it chews the cud, but does not divide the hoof, it is unclean to you. And the hare, because it chews the cud, but does not divide the hoof, it is unclean to you. And the swine, although it divides the hoof and is cloven-footed, yet it does not chew the cud, it is unclean to you. From their flesh you will not eat, and their carcass you will not touch. They are unclean to you. These you will eat of all that are in the waters. Whatever has fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, you may eat them. However, all that does not have fins and scales in the seas, and in the rivers, of all that moves in the waters, and of all living things that are in the waters, they are unnatural to you. Therefore, they are abominations to you. You will not eat of their flesh. Thus, their carcasses are unnatural to you. Whatever has no fins nor scales in the waters are unnatural to you, and of these you will restrict from among the fowl. They will not be eaten. They are unnatural. The eagle, and the vulture, and the buzzard, and the falcon, and the kite after its kind, every raven after its kind, and the ostrich, and the short-eared owl, and the seagull, and the hawk after its kind, and the little owl, and the cormorant, and the great owl, and the screech owl, and the jackdaw, and the carrion vulture, and the stork, the heron after its kind, and the hoopoe, and the bat. All flying things that creep, going upon all four, are unnatural to you. Yet these you may eat of every creeping thing that goes upon all four, which have legs upon their feet, to leap with upon the earth. These are those which you may eat: the locust after its kind, and the bald locust after its kind, and the cricket after its kind, and the grasshopper after its kind. But all flying creeping things which have 4 feet will be unnatural to you, and for these you will be unclean. Whoever touches the carcass of them will be unclean until the evening, and whoever carries their carcass will wash their clothes and be unclean until the evening. Every beast which divides the hoof, but is not cloven-footed, nor chews the cud, are unclean to you. Everyone who touches them will be unclean. and whatever goes upon its paws among all manner of beasts that go upon all four, those are unclean to you. Whoever touches their carcass will be unclean until the evening. Therefore, he who carries their carcass will wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. They are unclean to you. Also, these are unclean to you among the creeping things that creep upon the earth: the weasel, and the mouse, and the tortoise after its kind, and the ferret, and the chameleon, and the sand reptile, and the sand lizard, and the mole. These are unclean to you among all that creep. Whoever touches them when they are dead will be unclean until the evening. Furthermore, whatever they fall upon when they are dead, it will be unclean. Whether it is a wooden vessel, or raiment, or skin, or sack, whatever vessel in which work is done, it must be put into water, and it will be unclean until the evening. Thus it will be cleansed. And every earthen vessel in which they fall, whatever is in it, it will be unclean, and you will break it. Of all food that is eaten, whatever it comes upon will be unclean. Also the drinks that are drunk in all the vessels will be unclean. Everything whereon their carcass falls will be unclean. The oven and ranges for pots, they will be broken down. They are unclean, and will be unclean to you. Nevertheless, a fountain or pit with plenty of water will be clean, but that which touches their carcass will be unclean. If a carcass falls upon any seed which is to be sown, it will be clean. But if water is upon the seed, and their carcass falls on it, it will be unclean to you. And of any beast of which you may eat dies, he who touches the carcass of it will be unclean until the evening. And he who eats its carcass will wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. Also, he who carries the carcass will wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. And every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth will be unnatural. It will not be eaten. Whatever goes upon the belly, and whatever goes upon all four, or whatever has more feet among all creeping things that creep upon the earth, those you will not eat, for they are unnatural. You will not make yourselves abominable with any creeping thing that creeps, nor will you make yourselves unclean with them, and become defiled by them. For I am YHWH, your Elohim. Therefore separate yourselves, and you will be holy, for I am holy. Nor will you defile yourselves with any manner of creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. For I am YHWH, who brings you up out of the land of Mitzrayim, Egypt, to be your Elohim. Therefore you will be holy, for I am holy. This is the teaching of the beasts, and of the fowl, and of every living creature that moves in the waters, and of every creature that creeps upon the earth, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten.
Chapter 11.
And YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Yeshariel, saying, If a woman has conceived seed, and bears a male child, then she will be unclean for 7 days. She will be unclean according to the days of impurity for her infirmity. However, during the 8th day, the flesh of his foreskin will be circumcised. Then she will continue in the blood of her purification for 33 days. She will not touch anything holy, nor come into the sanctuary until the days of her purification are fulfilled. But if she bears a female child, then she will be unclean for 2 weeks, like in her separation, and she will continue in the blood of her purification for 66 days. And when the days of her purification are fulfilled, for a son or for a daughter, she will bring a lamb of the first year for an ascension offering, and a young pigeon or a turtle dove for a sin offering, to the door of the appointed tent, unto the priest, who will offer it before YHWH and make atonement for her. Then she will be cleansed from the issue of blood. This is the teaching for her whom has bore a male or a female. And if she is not able to bring a lamb, then she will bring 2 turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons, one for the ascension offering, and the other for the sin offering. Then the priest will make an atonement for her, and she will be clean.
Chapter 12.
And YHWH spoke to Moshe and to Harun, saying, When a man has a rising in the skin of his flesh, a scab or a bright spot, and is in the skin of his flesh unto the plague of leprosy, then he will be brought to Aharon the priest, or to one of his sons, the priests. And the priest will look on the plague in the skin of the flesh, and if the hair in the plague has turned white, and the plague is visually deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is a plague of leprosy. Therefore the priest will look upon him and pronounce him unclean. If the bright spot is white in the skin of his flesh, and is not visually deeper than the skin, and its hair has not turned white, then the priest will shut up the plague for 7 days. However, the priest will look on him the 7th day, and behold, if the plague in his sight is unchanged, the plague has not spread on the skin, then the priest will shut him up for 7 more days. Moreover, the priest will look upon him again the 7th day, and behold, if the plague is somewhat dark, the plague has not spread in the skin, the priest will pronounce him clean. It is a scab. Therefore, he will wash his clothes and be clean. But if the scab spreads over the skin after he has seen the priest for his cleansing, he will be seen by the priest again. Then, if the priest sees that, behold, the scab spreads in the skin, then the priest will pronounce him unclean. It is leprosy. When the plague of leprosy is in a man, then he will be brought to the priest. Therefore the priest will look, and behold, if the rising is white in the skin, and it has turned the hair white, and the rising is raw flesh, it is an old leprosy in the skin of his flesh. Then the priest will pronounce him unclean, and will shut him up, for he is unclean. Furthermore, if leprosy breaks out abroad in the skin, and the leprosy covers all the skin, a plague from his head even to his feet, wherever the priest looks, then the priest will consider. And behold, if the leprosy has covered all of his flesh, once it has turned all white, he will pronounce him clean of the plague. He is clean. But when raw flesh appears in him, he will be unclean. And the priest will see the raw flesh and pronounce him to be unclean. The raw flesh is unclean. It is leprosy. Or if the raw flesh turns again and has changed to white, he will come to the priest. Therefore the priest will see him, and behold, if the plague has turned white, then the priest will pronounce the plague clean. He is clean. Also, the flesh in which the skin has a boil yet has healed. However, in the place of the boil, where there is a white rising or a bright white spot, or somewhat reddish, then it will be showed to the priest. And when the priest sees it visually, behold, it is lower than the skin, and its hair has turned white. The priest will pronounce him unclean. It is a plague of leprosy, broken out of the boil. However, if the priest looks upon it, and behold, no white hairs are in it, and it is not lower than the skin, and is somewhat dark, Then the priest will shut him up for 7 days. And if indeed it has spread over the skin, then the priest will pronounce him unclean. It is a plague. Yet, if the bright spot stays in its place, not spreading, it is an active boil, and the priest will pronounce him clean. Or if there is any flesh in the skin, which is a burn from heat, and the burn scar has a bright white spot, somewhat reddish or white, then the priest will look upon it. And behold, if the hair in the bright spot has turned white, and is visually deeper than the skin, it is a leprosy breakout of the burn. Therefore the priest will pronounce him unclean. It is the plague of leprosy. However, if the priest looks on it, and behold, there is no white hair in the bright spot, and it is not lower than the skin, and is somewhat dark, then the priest will shut him up for 7 days. And the priest will look upon him the 7th day. If it has spread over the skin, then the priest will pronounce him unclean. It is the plague of leprosy. But if the bright spot stays in its place, not spreading in the skin, and it is somewhat dark, it is a rising of the burn, and the priest will pronounce him clean, for it is an inflammation of the burning. If a man or woman has a plague upon the head or the beard, then the priest will see the plague, and behold, if it is visually deeper than the skin, with thin yellow hair, then the priest will pronounce him unclean. It is a dry scowl, a leprosy upon the head or beard. But if the priest looks on the plague of the scowl, and behold, it is not visually deeper than the skin, and no black hair is in it, then the priest will shut up the plague of scowl for 7 days. Moreover, during the 7th day the priest will look on the plague, and behold, if the scowl does not spread, and there is not any yellow hair, and the scowl is not visually deeper than the skin, he will be shaved. But the scowl he will not shave. And the priest will shut up the scowl for 7 days. Then, during the 7th day, the priest will look on the scowl, and behold, if the scowl has not spread in the skin, nor is visually deeper than the skin, then the priest will pronounce him clean. Therefore he will wash his clothes and be clean. But if the scowl spreads over the skin after his cleansing, then the priest will look on him, and behold, if the scowl has spread in the skin, the priest will not look for yellow hair. He is unclean. Yet if the scowl is at a standstill in his sight, and that black hair has grown up in it, the scowl is healed. He is clean, and the priest will pronounce him clean. Also, if a man or a woman has bright white spots in the skin of their flesh, then the priest will look, and behold, if the bright spots in the skin of their flesh is darkish white, it is a freckled spot that grows in the skin. Furthermore, the man who has hair fallen off his head, he is bald, he is clean. And he who has his hair fallen off from part of his head towards the face, he is partially bald, he is clean. And if there is a white reddish sore on the bald or partially bald head, it is a leprosy sprung up in his bald or partially bald head. Then the priest will look upon it, and behold, if the rising of the sore is reddish white in his bald or partially bald head, as the leprosy appears in the skin of the flesh, he is a leprous man. He is unclean. Indeed, the priest will pronounce him unclean. His plague is in his head. Therefore, the leper in whom the plague belongs, his clothes will be rent, and his head will be bare, and he will put a covering over his upper lip, and cry, "Unclean, unclean." All the days in which the plague is in him, he will be defiled. He is unclean. He will dwell alone. His habitation will be outside the camp. Also, the garment that the plague of leprosy is in, whether it is a wool garment or a linen garment, whether in a weave or a linen mix, or wool, whether in a skin or in anything made of leather. Yet if a green or reddish plague is in the garment or in the skin, whether in the weaved or in the mixed, or in anything of leather, it is a plague of leprosy, and will be shown to the priest. Therefore the priest will look upon the plague, and shut up the plague for 7 days. Then he will look on the plague on the 7th day. If the plague has spread in the garment, whether in the weaved or in the mixed, or in a skin, in any work that is made of leather, the plague is an active leprosy, it is unclean. Therefore he will burn that garment, whether the weaved or mixed, in wool or in linen, or in anything of leather, in which the plague exists. For it is an active leprosy. It will be burnt in the fire. However, if the priest will look, and behold, the plague has not spread in the garment, whether in the weaved or in the mixed, or in anything of leather, then the priest will command that they wash that in which the plague exists, and he will shut it up for 7 more days. Then the priest will look on the plague after it has been washed. And behold, if the plague has not changed its color, even if the plague has not spread, it is unclean. You will burn it in the fire. It is active internally. It has bore in front or behind. Also, if the priest looks, and behold, the plague is somewhat dark after its washing, then he will rend it out of the garment, or out of the leather, or out of the weave, or out of the mixed. Yet, if it still appears in the garment, either in the weaved or in the mixed, or in anything of skin, it is active. You will burn that which has the plague in it with fire. However, the garment, either weaved or mixed, or whatever thing of leather which you have washed, if the plague has departed from them, then it will be washed a second time, and will be clean. This is the teaching of the plague of leprosy in a garment of wool or linen, either in the weaved or mixed, or anything of leather, to pronounce it clean or pronounce it unclean.
Chapter 13.
And YHWH spoke to Musha, saying, This will be the teaching of the leper. In the day of his cleansing he will be brought to the priest. Also the priest will go forth out of the camp. Then the priest will look, and behold if the leprosy is healed in the leper. Moreover, the priest will command to take 2 live, clean birds, and cedar wood, and scarlet, and hyssop for him, whom is to be cleansed. And the priest will command that one of the birds be killed in an earthen vessel over running water. As for the living bird, he will take it, and the cedar wood, and the scarlet, and the hyssop. Then dip them and the living bird in the blood of the bird that was killed over the running water. And he will sprinkle upon him whom is to be cleansed from the leprosy 7 times. Then he will pronounce him clean, and let the living bird loose into the open field. And he who is to be cleansed will wash his clothes, and shave off all his hair, and wash himself in water, that he may be clean. And after that he will come into the camp, and he will tarry outside of his tent for 7 days. Then on the 7th day he will shave all the hair off of his head, and his beard, and his eyebrows, even all his hair he will shave off. And he will wash his clothes. Also he will wash his flesh in water. Then he will be clean. Furthermore, on the 8th day he will take 2 male lambs without blemish, and 1 ewe lamb of the 1st year without blemish, and 3/10 deals of fine flour for a gift, mingled with oil, and 1 lug of oil. And the priest that is to make him clean will present the man who is to be made clean and those things before YHWH at the door of the appointed tent. Also the priest will take 1 male lamb, and offer him for a shame offering, and the lug of oil. And their shaking you will shake before YHWH. Then he will slay the lamb in the place where he kills the sin offering and the ascension offering in the holy place. For the sin offering is the priest's, so is the shame offering. It is a holy of holies. And the priest will take some of the blood of the shame offering, and the priest will put it upon the tip of the right ear of him whom is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. Then the priest will take some of the lug of oil and pour it into the palm of his left hand. Also, the priest will dip his right finger in the oil that is in his left hand, and sprinkle the oil with his finger 7 times before YHWH. And the remaining oil that is in his hand, the priest will put upon the tip of the right ear of him whom is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot, upon the blood of the shame offering. Then the rest of the oil that is in the priest's hand he will pour upon the head of him whom is to be cleansed, and the priest will make an atonement for him before YHWH. And the priest will offer the sin offering and make an atonement for him whom is to be cleansed from his uncleanliness, and afterward he will kill the ascension offering. Moreover, the priest will offer the ascension offering and the gift upon the altar. Then the priest will make an atonement for him, therefore he will be clean. But if he is poor and cannot get so much, then he will take 1 lamb for a shame offering to be shaken, to make an atonement for him, and 1/10 deal of fine flour mingled with oil for a gift, and a lug of oil. Also 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, such as he is able to obtain, and one will be a sin offering, and the other an ascension offering, and he will bring them on the 8th day for his cleansing to the priest, to the door of the appointed tent before YHWH. And the priest will take the lamb of the shame offering and the lug of oil. Surely the priest will shake them in the presence of YHWH, and he will kill the lamb of the shame offering, and the priest will take some of the blood of the shame offering and put it upon the tip of the right ear of him whom is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. Also, the priest will pour oil into the palm of his own left hand, and the priest will sprinkle with his right finger some of the oil that is in his left hand 7 times before YHWH. And the priest will put oil that is in his hand upon the tip of the right ear of him whom is to be cleansed, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot, upon the place of the blood of the shame offering. And the rest of the oil that is in the priest's hand he will put upon the head of him whom is to be cleansed, to make an atonement for him before YHWH. Then he will offer 1 of the turtle doves or 1 of the young pigeons, from whichever he can obtain. Whichever he can obtain, 1 is for the sin offering, and the other is for an ascension offering with the gift. And the priest will make an atonement for him whom is to be cleansed before YHWH. This is the teaching for who has the plague of leprosy in him, who is unable to obtain purity. Then YHWH spoke to Moshe and to Aharon, saying, When you go into the land of Canaan, which I give to you for a possession, then I will put the plague of leprosy in the house, from the land of your possession. Moreover, he who owns the house will come to tell the priest, saying, It seems to me that plague is in the house. Then the priest will command that he empty the house before the priest goes to see the plague, so that all who are in the house are not made unclean. And afterwards the priest will go in to see the house. And he will look upon the plague, and behold, if indeed the plague is in the walls of the house with ingrained greenish or reddish depressions that are visible lower than the wall, then the priest will go out of the house to the door of the house and shut the house for 7 days. Furthermore, the priest will come again the 7th day. Also, he will look and see if the plague has spread in the walls of the house. Then the priest will command that they take away the stones in which the plague exists, and they will cast them into an unclean place outside the city. Also, he will cause the house to be swept within, round about, and they will pour out the dust that they have swept off outside the city into an unclean place. And they will take other stones and put them in the place of those stones. And he will take another mortar and plaster the house. However, if the plague comes again and breaks out in the house, after he has taken away the stones, and after he has scraped the house, and after it is plastered, then the priest will come and look, and behold, if the plague has spread in the house, it is a bitter leprosy in the house, it is unclean. Therefore he will break down the house, its stones, and its timber, and all the mortar of the house. Also he will carry them forth out of the city into an unclean place. Moreover, he who goes into the house, all the while that it is shut up, will be unclean until the evening. And he who lies in the house will wash his clothes, and he who eats in the house will wash his clothes. But if the priest will come in, then look upon it and see the plague has not spread in the house, after the house was plastered, then the priest will pronounce the house clean, because the plague is healed. Then he will take 2 birds, and cedar wood, and scarlet, and hyssop to cleanse the house. And he will kill one of the birds in an earthen vessel, over running water. And he will take the cedar wood, and the hyssop, and the scarlet, and the living bird, and dip them in the blood of the slain bird, and in the running water, and sprinkle the house 7 times. And he will cleanse the house with the blood of the bird, and with the running water, and with the living bird, and with the cedar wood, and with the hyssop, and with the scarlet. Then he will let the living bird go out of the city into the open fields, and make atonement for the house. Thus it will be clean. This is the teaching of all manner of plague of leprosy, and scale, and for the leprosy of a garment, and of a house, and for a rising, and for a scab, and for a bright spot, to teach when it is unclean, and when it is clean. This is the teaching of leprosy.
Chapter 14.
And YHWH spoke to Moshe and to Aharon, saying, Speak to the children of Yisrael, and say to them, When any man has a discharge from his flesh, the discharge is unclean. And this will be the uncleanliness concerning the discharge, whether his flesh leaks the discharge, or his flesh is sealed from his issuance, it is his uncleanliness. The discharge is unclean. Every bed that he lies upon is unclean, and everything that he sits upon is unclean. Also, whoever touches his bed will wash his clothes and bathe in water, and be unclean until the evening. Furthermore, he who sits on anything on which he who has the discharge sat will wash his clothes and bathe in water, and be unclean until the evening. Moreover, he who touches the flesh of him whom has the discharge will wash his clothes and bathe in water, and be unclean until the evening. Also, if he who has the discharge spits upon him whom is clean, then he will wash his clothes and bathe in water, and be unclean until the evening. And whatever saddle the infected one rides upon will be unclean. And whoever touches anything that is under him will be unclean until the evening. And he who bears any of these things will wash his clothes and bathe in water and be unclean until the evening. Also, whoever touches him with the discharge, but has not rinsed his hands in water, he will wash his clothes and bathe in water and be unclean until the evening. And the earthen vessel that touches him with the discharge will be broken, but every wooden vessel will be rinsed with water. And when he who has a discharge is cleansed from the infection, then he will number to himself 7 days for his cleansing, and wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in running water, and he will be clean. And on the 8th day he will take for himself 2 turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons, and come before YHWH to the door of the appointed tent, and give them to the priest. Then the priest will offer them, one for a sin offering, and the other for an ascension offering. Therefore the priest will make an atonement for him before YHWH for his discharge. And if any man's seed of copulation goes out from him, then he will wash all of his flesh in water, and be unclean until the evening. And every garment and every skin whereon is the seed of copulation will be washed with water, and be unclean until the evening. Also the woman with whom the man will lie with seed of copulation, they will both bathe themselves in water, and be unclean until the evening. However, if a woman has a discharge of blood, it will be a discharge from her body for 7 days. She is menstruating, and whoever touches her, he will be unclean until the evening. And everything that she lies upon during her menstruation will be unclean. Also, everything she sits upon will be unclean. Therefore, whoever touches her bed will wash his clothes and bathe in water, and be unclean until the evening. Moreover, whoever touches anything that she sat upon will wash his clothes and bathe in water, and be unclean until the evening. Also, if it is on her bed, or upon anything on which she sits, when he touches it, he will be unclean until the evening. Furthermore, if any man lies with her at all, and she menstruates upon him, he will be unclean for 7 days, and the entire bed on which he lies will be unclean. However, if a woman has a discharge of blood for more days other than the time of her menstruation, or if it flows beyond the time of her menstruation, all the days of her unclean discharge will be as the days of her menstruation. She will be unclean. Every bed that she lies upon, all the days of her discharge, are like the bed of her menstruation, and whatever sits upon it will be unclean, like the uncleanliness of her menstruation. And whoever touches those things will be unclean, and will wash his clothes, and bathe in water, and be unclean until the evening. However, if she is cleansed of her discharge, and has counted 7 days for herself, then after that she will be clean. And on the 8th day she will take for herself 2 turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons. Then she will bring them to the priest, to the door of the appointed tent. Then the priest will offer one for a sin offering, and the other for an ascension offering. And the priest will make an atonement for her before YHWH, for the discharge of her uncleanliness. Thus you will separate the children of YHWH from their uncleanliness, that they do not die in their uncleanliness, when they defile my tabernacle which is among you. This is the teaching of him whom has a discharge, or whose seed goes from him and is defiled by it. Also of her whom is sick during her menstruation, and surely any discharge from a male or female, and of him whom lies with her, whom is unclean.
Chapter 15.
And YHWH spoke to Moshe after the death of the two sons of Aharon, when they offered before YHWH and died. Thus YHWH said to Moshe, "Speak to Aharon your brother, that he does not come at all times into the holy, within the veil before the atonement covering, which is upon the ark, so that he does not die. For I will appear in the cloud upon the atonement covering. Also Aharon shall come into the holy with a young bull for a sin offering, and a ram for an ascension offering. He will put on the holy linen coat, and he will have the linen briefs upon his flesh, and be girded with a linen girdle. Also he will be attired with a linen turban. These are the holy garments. Therefore he will wash his flesh with water, and put them on. Then he will take from the congregation of the children of Yeshariel 2 sires of the goats for a sin offering, and 1 ram for an ascension offering. Also Aharon will offer his bull of the sin offering, which is for himself, then make an atonement for himself and for his house. Next he will take the 2 sires and present them before YHWH by the door of the appointed tent. And Aharon will cast lots upon the 2 sires. 1 lot is for YHWH, and the other lot is for Azazel, absent she-goat. Then Aharon will bring the sire upon which the lot fell for YHWH, and offer him for a sin offering. However, the sire upon which the lot fell for Azazel, it will be presented alive before YHWH, to make an atonement upon it. Then it will be let loose into the wilderness for Azazel. Also Aharon will bring the bull of the sin offering, which is for himself, and will make an atonement for himself and for his house. And he will kill the bull of the sin offering, which is for himself. And he will take a censer full of burning coals of fire from off the altar before YHWH, and a handful of sweet incense, beaten small, and bring it within the veil. And he will put the incense upon the fire before YHWH, that the cloud of the incense may cover the atonement's covering, that is upon the testimony, so that he does not die. And he will take the blood of the bull, and sprinkle it with his finger upon the atonement's covering, eastward, and before the appointed tent. He will sprinkle the blood with his finger 7 times. Then he will kill the sire of the sin offering that is for the people, and bring its blood within the veil, and do with that blood as he did with the blood of the bull. Therefore he will sprinkle it upon the atonement's covering, and before the atonement's covering. Thus he will make an atonement upon the holy, because of the uncleanliness of the children of Yeshariel, and because of their transgressions and all their sins. Also he will do it for the appointed tent, which remains among them in the midst of their uncleanliness. However, there will be no man in the appointed tent when he goes in to make an atonement in the holy, until he comes out, and has made an atonement for himself, and for his household, and for all the congregation of Yeshariel. Then he will go out to the altar that is before YHWH, and make an atonement for it, and will take the blood of the bull, and the blood of the sire, and put it upon the horns of the altar round about, and he will sprinkle the blood upon it with his finger 7 times, and cleanse it, and hallow it from the uncleanliness of the children of Yeshariel. Then, once he has made an end of reconciling the holy, and the appointed tent, and the altar, he will bring the live sire. Then Aharon will lay both hands upon the head of the live sire, and confess over it all the iniquities of the children of Yeshariel, and all their transgressions in all their sins, putting them upon the head of the sire, and will send it away by the hand of a suitable man into the wilderness. Thus the sire will bear upon it all the iniquities to a land not inhabited. Then he will let the sire go into the wilderness. Next, Aharon will come into the appointed tent, and will take off the linen garments, which he put on when he went into the holy, and he will leave them there. Therefore he will wash his flesh with water in the holy place, and put on his garments, and come forth, and offer his ascension offering, and the ascension offering of the people, and make an atonement for himself and for the people. Thus he will burn the fat of the sin offering upon the altar. Furthermore, he who let the sire go for Azazel will wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in water, and afterwards come into the camp. Thus the bull for the sin offering, and the sire for the sin offering, whose blood was brought in to make atonement in the holy, will be carried forth outside the camp, and they will burn their skins and their flesh and their dung in the fire. Thus he who burns them will wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in water, and afterwards he will come into the camp. Therefore this will be an everlasting custom for you, that in the 7th month, on the 10th of the month, you will afflict your souls, and do no work at all, whether it is one from your own country, or an immigrant who sojourns among you. For on that day the priest will make an atonement for you, to cleanse you, that you may be clean from all your sins before YHWH. It will be a Shabbat of rest for you, and you will afflict your souls by an everlasting custom. Moreover, the priest whom he will anoint and whom he will consecrate to minister in the priest's office in his father's stead will make the atonement, and will put on the linen clothes, the holy garments. Also he will make an atonement for the holy sanctuary, and he will make an atonement for the appointed tent, and for the altar. So too he will make an atonement for the priests, and for all the people of the congregation. And this will be an everlasting custom for you, to make an atonement for the children of YHWH for all their sins once a year. Thus he did as YHWH commanded Moshe.
Chapter 16.
And YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Aharon and to his sons, and to all the children of YHWH, and say to them, This is the word which YHWH has commanded, saying, Surely a man from the house of YHWH who kills a young bull, or lamb, or goat in the camp, or that kills it outside the camp, yet does not bring it to the door of the appointed tent, to offer an offering unto YHWH before the tabernacle of YHWH, blood will be credited to that man. He has shed blood, and that man will be cut off from among his people. For the intention that the children of YHWH may bring their sacrifices, which they offer in the open field, that they may bring them unto YHWH, to the door of the appointed tent, to the priest, and offer them for restoration unto YHWH. And the priest will sprinkle the blood upon the altar of YHWH by the door of the appointed tent, and burn the fat for a sweet savor unto YHWH. Therefore they will not offer their sacrifices unto devils any more, after whom they have gone whoring. This will be an everlasting custom for them throughout their generations. Then you will say to them, Whatever man from the house of YHWH, or of the immigrants who sojourn among you, who offers an ascension offering or sacrifice, yet does not bring it to the door of the appointed tent, to offer it unto YHWH, that man will be cut off from among his people. Surely a man from the house of YHWH, or from the immigrants who sojourn among you, who eats of any manner of blood, I will set my presence within the soul of the blood-eater, and cut him off from among his people. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar, to make an atonement for your souls. for it is the blood that makes an atonement for your soul. Therefore I said to the children of Yisrael, no soul among you will eat blood, nor will any immigrant who sojourns among you eat blood. And any man from the children of Yisrael, or of the immigrants who sojourn among you, who hunts and catches any beast or fowl that may be eaten, he will pour out its blood and cover it with dust. For the life of all flesh is within the blood. Therefore I said to the children of Yisrael, you will not eat the blood of all flesh, for the life of all flesh is the blood. Whoever eats it will be cut off. And every soul who eats that which died or that which was torn, one from your own country or an immigrant, he will both wash his clothes and bathe in water, and be unclean until the evening. Then he will be clean. But if he does not wash them, nor bathe his flesh, then he will bear his iniquity.
Chapter 17.
And YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to the children of Yisrael, and say to them, I am YHWH, your Elohim, following the behavior from the land of Mitzrayim, in which you dwelt, you will not do. Also, following the behavior from the land of Canaan, where I will bring you, you will not do, nor will you walk in their customs. You will do my guidelines and keep my customs, which you, the Adam, will do and live in them. I am YHWH, your Elohim. Therefore you will keep my customs and my guidelines, which if a man does, he will live by them. I am YHWH. Any man unto all of his kin you shall not approach to uncover their nakedness. I am YHWH. The nakedness of your father or the nakedness of your mother you will not uncover. She is your mother. You will not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of your father's wife you will not uncover. It is your father's nakedness. The nakedness of your sister, the daughter of your father or the daughter of your mother, born at home or abroad, you will not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of your son's daughter or of your daughter's daughter, their nakedness you will not uncover, for their nakedness is your own. The nakedness of your father's wife's daughter, begotten of your father, she is your sister. You will not uncover her nakedness. You will not uncover the nakedness of your father's sister. She is your father's near kinswoman. You will not uncover the nakedness of your mother's sister, for she is your mother's near kinswoman. You will not uncover the nakedness of your father's brother. You will not approach unto his wife. She is your aunt. You will not uncover the nakedness of your daughter-in-law. She is your son's wife. You will not uncover her nakedness. You will not uncover the nakedness of your brother's wife. It is your brother's nakedness. You will not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter, nor will you take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter to uncover her nakedness, for they are her near kinswoman. It is wickedness. Nor will you take the sister of your wife during her lifetime to vex her, to uncover her nakedness. Also, you will not approach a woman to uncover her nakedness while she is menstruating her impurity. Moreover, you will not lie carnally with your neighbor's wife, to defile yourself with her, and you will not let any of your seed pass over unto Melech, nor will you corrupt the name of your Elohim. I am he who exists. You will not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is unnatural. Neither will you lie with any beast to defile yourself with it. Neither will any woman stand before a beast to lie down there. It is confusion. Do not defile yourself in any of these things, for in all of these, the nations that I will cast out before you are defiled, and the land is defiled. Therefore, I do visit the iniquity of them upon it, and the land itself will vomit out her inhabitants. Therefore, you will keep my customs and my judgments, and will not commit any of these abominations, none from your own nation, nor any immigrant who sojourns among you. For all of these abominations the mortals of the land, who were before you, have done. Thus the land is defiled. But the land will not spew you out of her, like it spewed out the nations that were before you. For whoever commits any of these abominations, then those souls will be cut off from their people. Therefore you will keep my rules, that you do not commit any of these abominable customs which were committed before you, so that you do not defile yourselves with them. I am he who exists, your Elohim.
Chapter 18.
And YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to all the congregation of the children of Yeshariel, and say to them, You will be set apart, for I, YHWH, your Elohim, am set apart. Every man shall revere his mother and father. Also, you will keep my Shabbats. I am YHWH, your Elohim. Do not turn to idols, nor make unto yourself a deity mask. I am he who exists, your Elohim. And if you offer a sacrifice of restoration unto YHWH, you will offer it at your own will. It will be eaten the same day you offer it, and on the morrow. However, if any remains until the third day, it will be burnt in the fire. Furthermore, if it is eaten at all on the third day, it is an abomination. It will not be accepted. Therefore, whoever eats it will bear his iniquity, because he has corrupted the holy of YHWH. Moreover, we will cut off that person from among his people. And when you reap the harvest of your land, you will not reap the corners of your fields completely, nor will you gather the gleanings of your harvest. Also, you will not glean your vineyard, nor will you gather every grape of your vineyard. You will leave them for the poor and the immigrant. I am YHWH, your Elohim. You will not steal, nor deal falsely, nor lie one to another. Furthermore, you will not swear falsely by my name, and corrupt the name of your Elohim. I am he who exists. You will not defraud nor rob your neighbor. You will not hold the wages of him whom was hired overnight until morning. You will not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind, but you will revere your Elohim. I am YHWH. You will do no unrighteousness while judging. You will not be partial to the poor person, nor honor the mighty person. With righteousness you will judge your neighbor. You will not go up and down slandering among your people, nor will you stand upon the blood of your neighbor. I am YHWH. You will not hate your brother in your heart. You will reprove your neighbor. Then you will not suffer because of his sin. You will not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of your people. Also, you will love your neighbor as yourself. I am YHWH. You will keep my customs. You will not let your livestock breed with a diverse kind. You will not sow your field with mingled seed, nor will a garment mingled with linen and wool come upon you. And whoever lies carnally with a woman who is a bondmaid, betrothed to a husband, and not at all redeemed, nor freedom given her, she will be examined. They will not be put to death, because she was not free. However, he will bring his shame offering unto YHWH to the door of the appointed tent, a ram for the shame. And the priest will make an atonement for him with the ram of the shame offering before YHWH for his sin, which he has done. Then the sin which he has done will be forgiven him. Furthermore, when you have come into the land and have planted all manner of trees for food, then you will count the fruit of it as uncircumcised. For 3 years it will be uncircumcised unto you. It will not be eaten. Moreover, during the 4th year, all of its fruit will be set apart. The praises belong to YHWH. However, during the 5th year, you will eat its fruit, that it may yield unto you its increase. I am YHWH, your Elohim. You will not consume blood, nor will you use divinations, nor divinate from clouds. You will not round the corners of your heads, nor will you mar the corners of your beard. You will not make any cuttings in your flesh for a person, nor tattoo upon yourself. I am YHWH. Do not corrupt your daughter, to cause her to become a whore, lest the land falls into whoredom, and the land becomes full of wickedness. You will keep my Shabbats, and you will revere my sanctuary. I am YHWH. Do not turn to mediums and wizards. You will not seek them to be defiled by them. I am YHWH, your Elohim. You will rise up before the gray-headed, and honor the presence of the old man, and revere your Elohim. I am he who exists. Furthermore, if an immigrant sojourns with you in your land, you shall not vex him, and to you the immigrant who dwells with you will be like one born among you, and you will love him as yourself. For you were immigrants in the land of Mitzrayim. I am YHWH, your Elohim. You will do no unrighteousness in judgment, in measurement, in weight, or in volume. You will have just balances, just weights, a just ephah, and a just hin. I am YHWH, your Elohim, who brought you from the land of Mitzrayim. Therefore, you will observe all my customs and all my judgments, and do them. I am he who exists.
Chapter 19.
And YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Again, you will say to the children of Yeshariel, whoever from the children of Yeshariel, or of the immigrants who sojourn with Yeshariel, who gives his seed to Molech, surely he will be put to death. The people from the land will stone him with stones. And I will set my face against that man, and cut him off from among his people, because he has given his seed to Molech, to intentionally defile my sanctuary, and to corrupt my holy name. And surely, if the people from the land hide their eyes from the man who gives his seed to Molech, and does not kill him, then I will set my face against that man, and against his family. Also, I will cut him off, and all who go whoring after him, for committing whoredom with Molech, from among their people. Also, the soul who turns towards mediums and wizards goes whoring after them. I will set my face against that soul, and cut him off from among his people. Therefore, separate yourselves and be holy, for I am YHWH, your Elohim. Thus you will keep my customs and do them. I am YHWH, your sanctuary. For everyone who curses his father or his mother will surely be put to death. He who curses his father and his mother, his blood will be upon him. Also, the man who commits adultery with another man's wife, who commits adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress will surely be put to death. And the man who lies with his father's wife has uncovered his father's nakedness. Both of them will surely be put to death. Their blood will be upon them. And if a man lies with his daughter-in-law, both of them will surely be put to death. They have worked confusion. Their blood will be upon them. Also, if a man lies with a male, like he lies with a woman, both of them have committed unnatural acts. Surely they will be put to death. Their blood will be upon them. And if a man takes a wife and her mother, it is wickedness. They will be burnt with fire, both he and they, that there is no wickedness among you. And if a man lies with a beast, surely he will be put to death, and you will slay the beast. Moreover, if a woman approaches unto any beast and lies there, you will kill the woman and the beast. Surely they will be put to death. Their blood will be upon them. And if a man takes his sister, his father's daughter, or his mother's daughter, and sees her nakedness, and she sees his nakedness, it is a wicked thing, and they will be cut off in the sight of their people. He has uncovered his sister's nakedness. He will bear his iniquity. Furthermore, if any man lies with a woman having her menstruation and uncovers her nakedness, he has discovered her fountain, and he has uncovered the fountain of her blood. Then both of them will be cut off from among their people. And you will not uncover the nakedness of your mother's sister, nor your father's sister, for he uncovers his near kin. They will bear their iniquity. And if a man lies with his uncle's wife, he has uncovered his uncle's nakedness. They will bear their sin. They will die childless. And if a man takes his brother's wife, it is an unclean thing. He has uncovered his brother's nakedness. They will be childless. Therefore you will keep all my customs and all my judgments, and do them. Then the land that I bring you to dwell in will not spew you out. Moreover, you will not walk in the manner of the nations which I cast out before you, for they committed all these things. Therefore I detested them. Also I said to you, you will inherit their land, and I will give it unto you to possess, a land that flows with milk and honey. I am YHWH, your Elohim, who has separated you from other people. Therefore you will put a difference between clean and unclean beasts, and between unclean and clean fowl. And you will not make your souls abominable by beast or by fowl, or by any manner of living thing that creeps on the ground, which I have divided from you as unclean. Then you will be holy unto me, for I, YHWH, am holy, and I have severed you from other people, that you may be mine. A man or a woman who has a familiar spirit or wizard within them will surely be put to death. They will stone them with stones. Their blood will be upon them.
Chapter 20.
And YHWH said to Moshe, speak to the priests and the sons of Aharon, and say to them, for no person shall defile himself from among his people, except for his kin who are near to him, for his mother, and for his father, and for his son, and for his daughter, and for his brother, and for his virgin sister, who is near him, who has not had a husband. For her he may be defiled. He shall not defile himself, a lord among his people, by corrupting himself. They will not make baldness upon their head, nor will they shave the corner of their beard, nor make any cuttings in their flesh. They will be holy unto their Elohim, and not corrupt the name of their Elohim. For the offerings of YHWH are made by fire. They will offer the bread of their Elohim. Therefore they will be holy. They will not take a wife who is a whore or corrupted, nor will they take a woman who was put away from her husband, for he is holy unto his Elohim. Therefore you will separate him, for he offers the bread of your Elohim. He will be holy unto you, for I, YHWH, your sanctuary, am holy. Furthermore, if a daughter of any priest corrupts herself by playing the whore, she corrupts her father. She will be burnt with fire. And the high priest among his brethren, who has oil upon the head, the Mashiach, and whose authority was fulfilled to wear the garments, his head will not be uncovered, and his clothes will not be torn. Nor will he go in unto any dead body, nor defile himself with his father or his mother, nor will he go out of the sanctuary, nor corrupt the sanctuary of his Elohim. For the dedication of the anointing oil of his Elohim is upon him. I am YHWH. Also he will take a wife in her virginity. However, these he will not take, a widow, or a divorced woman, or a corrupted harlot, but he will take a virgin of his own people to wife. Neither will he profane his seed among his people, for I am YHWH, his sanctuary. And YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Aharon, saying, Whoever of your seed in their generations who has a blemish, let him not approach to offer the bread of his Elohim. For whichever man has a blemish, he will not approach. A blind man, or a lame, or disfigured, or contorted, or a man who is broken-footed, or broken-handed, or hunchbacked, or a dwarf, or that has a blemish in his eye, or has scurvy, or a scab, or has his testicles removed. No man who has a blemish among the seed of Aharon, the priest, will come near to offer the offerings of YHWH made by fire. He has a blemish. He will not come near to offer the bread of his Elohim. He may eat the bread of his Elohim, of the Holy of Holies, and of the holy. Only he will not go in towards the veil, nor come near to the altar, because he has a blemish, so that he does not corrupt my sanctuary. For I am YHWH, your sanctuary. Therefore Moshe told it to Aharon, and to his sons, and to all the children of Yeshariel.
Chapter 21.
And YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Aharon and to his sons. Then the children of Yeshariel will dedicate my sanctuary, which they have separated unto me, and not corrupt my name. I am YHWH. Say to them, Unto your generations every man from your descendants who goes to the holies, which the children of Yeshariel separated unto YHWH, yet has uncleanness upon him, that soul will be cut off from my presence. I am YHWH. Each man from the seed of Aharon, being a leper or having a discharge, he will not eat of the holy until he is clean. Also, he who touches any unclean creature, or a man whose seed goes from him, or whoever touches any creeping thing that might make him unclean, or by a dam who might make him unclean for all of his uncleanliness, the soul who is touched by it will be unclean until evening, and will not eat of the holy, unless he washes his flesh with water. Then, when the sun is down, he will be clean. And afterwards he will eat of the holy, because it is his food. That which dies of itself or is torn, he will not eat to defile himself by it. I am YHWH. Therefore they will keep my ruling. Then they will not bear sin upon themselves, and die by it, for corrupting it. I am YHWH from the holies. Furthermore, all unauthorized will not eat the holy. A resident of the priest or a hired servant will not eat the holy. However, if the priest buys a soul with his money, he may eat it. Also, he who is born in his house, they may eat of his food. Moreover, If the priest's daughter is married to an unauthorized man, she will not eat of the offering from the holy. But if the priest's daughter is a widow, or divorced, or has no child, yet has returned to her father's house, like in her youth, she may eat of her father's food. However, all unauthorized will not eat of it. And if a man eats from the holy unknowingly, then he will add a fifth part to it, and he will give the holy to the priest. Therefore they will not corrupt my holy from the children of Yeshariel, which they exalted unto YHWH, and carry the iniquity of shame while eating the holy offerings. For I am YHWH from the holies. And YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Aharon and to his sons, and to all the children of Yeshariel, and say to them, Whoever from the house of Yeshariel, or from the immigrants among Yeshariel, who will offer his oblation from all his vows, and for all his freewill offerings, which they offer unto YHWH to ascend, for their freewill offering will be a male without blemish, of the ox, sheep, or goats. All that has a blemish in it you will not offer, because it will not be accepted for you. And whoever offers the sacrifice of restorations unto YHWH to accomplish his vow, or a freewill offering, with a cattle or sheep, to be accepted, it must be perfect. There will not be a blemish in it, the blind or broken, or maimed, or having an ulcer, or scurvy, or scabbed, you will not offer unto YHWH, nor make a fire from them upon the altar unto YHWH. However, an ox or a lamb that is deformed or stunt you may offer freely, but it will not be accepted for a vow. Moreover, you will not offer unto YHWH that which is bruised, or crushed, or broken, or cut, nor by the hand of the son of a foreigner will you offer it, as food for your Elohim of any of these. Because corruption is in them, they will not be accepted for you. And YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, When an ox or a sheep or a goat is born, it will be under its mother for 7 days. However, from the 8th day and beyond, it may be accepted as an offering made by fire unto YHWH. Furthermore, an ox or ewe and its descendant you will not kill in the same day. And when you offer a sacrifice of thanksgiving unto YHWH, offer it at your own will. It will be eaten on the same day. From it you will not leave until the next day. I am YHWH. Therefore you will keep my commandments and do them. I am YHWH. You will not corrupt my holy name. And I have been separated in the midst of the children of Yeshariel. I am YHWH who separates you, who brought you from the land of Mitzrayim, to be your Elohim. I am he who exists.
Chapter 22.
And YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Yeshariel, and say to them, The feasts of YHWH, which you will proclaim from my call of the holy, these are my appointed times. For 6 days you will do your work, but the 7th day is the Shabbat of rest, a Mikra Kudesh. You will do no work. It is the Shabbat of YHWH in all your dwellings. These are the feasts of YHWH, the Mikra Kudesh that you will proclaim at their appointed times. During the 14th day of the 1st month, at evening, is the Pesach unto YHWH, and on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of Matzut unto YHWH. For 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. In the 1st day you will have a Mikra Kudesh. During it you will do no servile work, but you will offer an offering made by fire unto YHWH for 7 days. During the 7th day is a Mikra Kudesh. You will do no servile work. Then YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Yisrael, and say to them, When you come into the land which I give you, and reap its harvest, then you will bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest, and he will shake the sheaf before YHWH to be accepted for you. The priest will shake it on the next day after the Shabbat. And during the day of the shaking of the sheaf, you will offer a male lamb without blemish from the first year for an ascension offering unto YHWH. And its gift will be 2/10 of fine flour mingled with oil by fire unto YHWH for a sweet savor. And its drink offering will be of wine, 1/4 of a hin. However, you will not eat bread, nor parched grain, nor green ears, until the same day that you bring an offering to your Elohim. It will be an everlasting custom throughout your generations in all your dwellings. And you will count for yourself from the next day after the Shabbat, from the day that you brought the sheaf of the shake offering, 7 Shabbats will be complete. Even to the next day after the 7th Shabbat, you will number 50 days. Then you will offer a new gift unto YHWH. Out of your habitations you will bring 2 shaking loaves of 2/10. They will be of fine flour. They will be baked with leaven, the first fruits unto YHWH. And you will offer with the bread 7 lambs without blemish of the first year, and 1 bull and 2 rams. They will be an ascension offering unto YHWH with their gift and their drink offerings. An offering made by fire is a sweet savor unto YHWH. Then you will sacrifice 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and 2 lambs of the first year for the sacrifice of restorations. And the priest will shake them with the bread of the first fruits for a shake offering before YHWH with the 2 lambs. They will be separated unto YHWH for the priest. Then, on the same day, you will proclaim this a mikra kudesh for you. You will do no servile work, an everlasting custom in all your dwellings throughout your generations. And when you reap the harvest of your land, you will not do corners of your field completely while you reap, nor will you gather any gleaning from your harvest. You will leave them for the poor and for the immigrant. I am YHWH, your Elohim. Then YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Yisrael, saying, In the 7th month, during the 1st of the month, there will be a Shabbatun, rest, for you, a reminder of the blowing of trumpets from the call of the holy. You will do no servile work, and you will offer an offering made by fire unto YHWH. Furthermore, YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Also on the 10th of this 7th month is Yom Kippur, Day of Atonement. It will be a mikra kudesh for you, and you will afflict your souls, and offer an offering made by fire unto YHWH. Thus you will not work during that same day, for it is Yom Kippur, to make an atonement for you before YHWH, your Elohim. For every soul who is not afflicted during that same day, he will be cut off from among his people. And every soul that does any work during this same day, the same soul will be destroyed from among his people. You will do no manner of work. It will be an everlasting custom throughout your generations in all your dwellings. It will be a Shabbat of rest for you. However, you will afflict your souls during the 9th of the month at evening. From evening to evening you will celebrate your Shabbat. Then YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Yisrael, saying, The 15th day of the 7th month will be the feast of Sukkot unto YHWH for 7 days. On the first day will be a mikra kudesh. You will do no servile work. For 7 days you will offer an offering made by fire unto YHWH. On the 8th day there will be a mikrokudesh for you, and you will offer an offering made by fire unto YHWH. He will assemble you. You will do no servile work. These are the feasts of YHWH, which you will proclaim them to be mikrokudesh, to offer by fire unto YHWH an ascension offering and a gift, a sacrifice, and drink offerings, as decreed during its day, aside from the Shabbats of YHWH, and aside from your gifts, and aside from all your vows, and aside from your freewill offerings, which you give unto YHWH. Also during the 15th day of the 7th month, when you have gathered in the fruit from the land, you will keep a feast unto YHWH for 7 days. On the 1st day it will be a Shabbatun, and on the 8th day it will be a Shabbatun. Moreover, on the 1st day you will take for yourselves the limbs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and limbs of thick trees, and willows of the brook, and you will rejoice before YHWH your Elohim for 7 days. Therefore you will keep the feast of YHWH for 7 days in the year. It will be an everlasting custom in your generations. You will celebrate it in the 7th month. You will dwell in booths for 7 days. All who are native born with Yeshariel will dwell in booths, so that your generations may know that I made the children of Yeshariel to dwell in booths when I brought them out from the land of Mitzrayim. I am he who exists, your Elohim. Therefore Moshe declared to the children of Yeshariel the feasts of YHWH.
Chapter 23.
And YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Command the children of Yeshariel that they bring pure pressed olive oil unto you for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually outside the veil of the testimony in the appointed tent. Aharon will oversee it from the evening until the morning before YHWH, continually. It will be an everlasting custom in your generations. He will prepare the lamps upon the pure menorah before YHWH, continually. Then you will take fine flour and bake 12 cakes from it. 1 cake will be 2 tenths deals, and you will set them in 2 rows, 6 on each row, upon the pure table before YHWH. Also you will put pure frankincense upon each row. Thus it will be upon the bread for a reminder of the fire unto YHWH. Every Shabbat he will set it in order before YHWH, continually, from the children of Yeshariel by an everlasting covenant. It will be Aharon's and his sons, and they will eat it in the holy. For it is a holy of holies for him from the offerings of YHWH, made by fire, an everlasting custom.
Chapter 24.
And the son of a Yesharielite woman, whose father was a Mitri man, went out among the children of Yeshariel. Then this son of the Yesharielite woman and the sons of Yeshariel strove together in the camp. Also the son of the Yesharielite woman blasphemed the name, and he cursed. Therefore they brought him to Moshe. His mother's name was Shemulit, the daughter of Dibri, from the tribe of Dan. And they put him in custody, so that the mind of YHWH might be shown to them. And YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Bring him forth who has cursed, outside the camp, and let all who heard lay their hands upon his head, and let all the congregation stone him. Then you will speak to the children of Yeshariel, saying, Whoever curses his Elohim will bear his sin, and he who blasphemes the name of YHWH, surely he will be put to death. The entire congregation, the immigrant like the native born, will be put to death when he blasphemes the name. Furthermore, the man who kills the soul of any Adam will surely die. He who kills a beast will make it good, beast for beast. Also, if a man causes a blemish in his neighbor, as he has done, so too it will be done to him. Breach for breach, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. Like the blemish he caused in Adam, so too it will be done to him. He who kills a beast, he will restore it, but he who kills Adam, he will die. There is one law for you, the immigrant as well as the native-born. For I am he who exists, your Elohim. Therefore Moshe spoke to the children of Yisrael. Then they took the blasphemer outside of the camp and stoned him with stones. Thus the children of Yisrael did as YHWH commanded Moshe.
Chapter 25.
And YHWH spoke to Moshe in Mount Sinai, saying, Speak to the children of Yisrael, and say to them, When you come into the land which I give you, then the land will keep a Shabbat unto YHWH. For 6 years you will sow your field. Also for 6 years you will prune your vineyard, and gather in its fruit. But during the 7th year there will be a Shabbat of rest for the land, a Shabbat unto YHWH. You will not sow your field, nor prune your vineyard. That which grows from your harvest you will not reap, nor gather the grapes of your undressed vine. It is a year of rest for the land. Moreover, the Shabbat of the land is for you, for your food, and for your servant, and for your maid, and for your hired servant, also for your immigrant who sojourns among you. But for the livestock and for the beast that is in your land, they are all the harvest to be eaten. And you will number 7 Shabbats of years unto yourself, 7 times 7 years. And the span of the 7 Shabbats of years will be 49 years unto you. Then you will cause the trumpet to alert on the 10th of the 7th month. During Yom Kippur, you will make the trumpet sound throughout all your land. Also, you will set apart the 50th year, and proclaim liberty throughout all the land to all its inhabitants. It is a Yubal. YHWH is Lord for you. And you will return every man to his possession. Also, you will return every man to his family. The 50th year will be a Yubal for you. During it you will not sow, nor reap that which grows of itself. And during it you will not gather from your undressed vine. It will be holy unto you. You will eat the harvest from the field. During the year of Yubal you will return this, each man to his possession. And if you sell anything to your neighbor, or buy from the hand of your neighbor, you will not oppress each other. In accordance to the number of years after the Yubal, you will buy from your neighbor. He will sell to you in accordance to the number of years for the fruits. In accordance to the accumulation of years, you will increase its price. Also, in accordance to the fewness of years, you will diminish its price, relative to the amount of fruits he sells to you. Therefore, you will not oppress each other, but you will revere your Elohim, for I am he who exists. Thus you will observe my customs, and keep my judgments, and do them. Then you will safely dwell in the land. Moreover, the land will yield her fruit, and you will eat your fruit, and dwell there in safety. But if you say, What will we eat the 7th year? Behold, we have not sown, nor gathered in our increase. Therefore I will command my endowment upon you during the 6th year, and it will bring forth fruit for 3 years. Also you will sow the 8th year, and eat of the old fruit until the 9th year. You will eat from the old until its fruit comes in. The land will not be sold forever, because the land is mine. You are immigrants and residents with me. Therefore, in all the land of your possession, you will offer a redemption for the land. If your brother becomes poor and has sold away his possession, yet if any of his kin comes to redeem it, then he may redeem that which his brother sold. Also, if the man has no one to redeem it, then he will be able to redeem it. Therefore, he will count the years from its sale and restore the remaining value to the man whom he sold it, that he may return to his possession. But if he is not able to restore it for himself, then that which is sold will remain in the land of him whom has bought it until the year of Yubal. Then in Yubal he will return to his possession. Furthermore, if a man sells a dwelling house in a walled city, then he may redeem it within a whole year after it was sold. A full year he may redeem it. However, if it is not redeemed within the span of a full year, then the house that is in the walled city will be established forever unto him whom bought it throughout his generations. It will not be released during the Yubal. But the houses of the villages, which have no walls round about them, will be counted like the fields of the country. They may be redeemed. Also, they will be released during the Yubal. Nonetheless, the cities of the Lehuim, the houses of the cities of their possession, the Lehuim may redeem at any time. And if a man purchases from the Lehuim, then the house that was sold and the city of his possession will be released during the Yubal. For the houses of the cities of the Lehuim are their possession among the children of Yeshariel. Also, the field of the suburbs of their cities may not be sold, for it is their perpetual possession. Moreover, if your brother's strength is shaken among you, then you will help him, the immigrant and the resident, who lives among you. You will not take any usury or increase from him, but revere your Elohim, that your brother may live among you. You will not give him your money upon usury, nor lend him your victuals for increase. I am YHWH your Elohim, who brought you forth from the land of Mitzrayim, to give you the land of Canaan, to be your Elohim. Also, if your brother becomes poor and is sold to you, you will not compel him to serve like a bondservant. He will be as a hired servant, like a resident with you, serving you until the year of Yubal. Then he will depart from you, he and his children with him, and he will return to his own family. Also, he will return to the possession of his fathers, for they are my servants, who I brought forth from the land of Mitzrayim. They will not be sold as bondmen. You will not rule over him with rigor, but you will revere your Elohim. Both your bondmen and your bondmaids, which you will have, will be from the nations who are round about you. From them you may buy bondmen and bondmaids. Also from the children of the foreigners who are resident among you. From them you will buy, and of their families that are with you, which they beget in your land, and they will be your possession. Furthermore, you will take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit a possession. They will be your bondmen forever. But over your brethren, the children of Yeshariel, you will not rule over each other with rigor. However, if the hand of an immigrant or a foreigner with you becomes rich, yet your brother becomes poor because of him, and sells himself to the immigrant or foreigner with you, or a member of the immigrant's family, after he is sold, he may be redeemed again. One of his brethren may redeem him. Either his uncle or his uncle's son may redeem him, or those near of kin to him from his father may redeem him. Or, if he is able, he may redeem himself. Thus he will settle with him, who bought him from the year that he was sold to him, until the year of Yubal. And the price of his sale will be in accordance to the number of years. According to the time of a hired servant, it will be with him. If there is many years, according to them he will repay the price of his redemption from the money that he was bought. But if a few years remains until the year of Yubal, then he will count it for him. He will repay his redemption according to his years. He will be with him like a yearly hired servant. He will not appear to rule over him with rigor. And if he is not redeemed by these, then he will be released during the year of Yubal, he and his children with him. For unto me the children of Yeshariel are servants. They are my servants, whom I brought forth from the land of Mitzrayim. I am YHWH, your Elohim.
Chapter 26.
You will make yourself no idols, nor graven image, nor will you rear up a standing monument, nor will you set up any stone image in your land, to bow down to it, for I am YHWH, your Elohim. You will keep my Shabbats, and reverence my sanctuary. I am YHWH. If you will walk in my customs, and keep my commandments, and do them, then I will give you rain in due season, and the land will yield her increase, and the trees of the field will yield their fruit, and your threshing will reach until its vintage. Also, the vintage will reach until its sowing time. Therefore you will eat your bread until full, and safely dwell in your land. And I will give peace in the land, and you will lie down, and no one will make you afraid. And I will rid evil beasts out from the land, nor will the sword go through your land. And you will chase your enemies, and they will fall before you by the sword. Therefore 5 of you will chase 100, and 100 of you will put 10,000 to flight. And your enemies will fall before you by the sword. And I will turn towards you, and make you fruitful, and multiply you, and establish my covenant with you. Surely you will eat the old before you bring out the new. Also, I will set my tabernacle among you, and my soul will not detest you. And I will walk among you, and be your Elohim, and you will be my people. I am YHWH, your Elohim, who brought you forth from the land of Mitzrayim, so that you will not be their bondmen. And I have broken the bonds of your yoke, and made you go upright. But if you will not hearken unto me, and will not do all these commandments, and if you will despise my customs, or if your soul detests my guidelines, so that you will not do all my commandments, that you break my covenant, then I will do this unto you. I will appoint the terror, the wasting disease over you, and a fever will consume the eyes. And with a sorrowful heart, then you will sow your seed in vain, for your enemies will eat it. Furthermore, I will set my face against you, and you will be slain before your enemies. Those who hate you will reign over you, and you will flee when no one pursues you. Still, if after this you will not hearken unto me, then I will punish you 7 more times for your sins. And I will break the power of your pride, and I will make your heavens as iron, and your earth as copper, and your strength will be spent in vain, for your land will not yield her increase, nor will the trees from the land yield their fruit. Still yet, if you walk contrary to me, and will not hearken unto me, I will bring 7 times more plagues upon you, according to your sins. Also, I will send wild beasts among you, which will rob you of your children, and destroy your livestock, and make you few in number, and your ways will become desolate. Still, if you will not become reformed unto me by these things, but walk contrary to me, then I will walk contrary to you also, and punish you another 7 times for your sins. And I will bring a sword upon you, which will render vengeance for the covenant, And when you are gathered together in your cities, I will send the pestilence among you, and you will be delivered into the hand of the enemy. When I have broken the staff of your bread, 10 women will bake your bread in one oven, and they will deliver your bread again by weight, and you will eat but not be satisfied. Still, if during this you have not hearkened unto me, but walk contrary to me, then I will walk contrary to you also with fury. And surely I will chastise you 7 times for your sins. Therefore you will eat the flesh of your sons, and you will eat the flesh of your daughters. Also, I will destroy your high places, and cut down your sun pillars, and cast your carcasses upon the carcasses of your idols, and detest your soul. And I will make your cities waste, and bring your sanctuaries to desolation, and I will not smell the savor of your sweet scent. Also, I will bring the land into desolation, and your enemies which dwell in it will be astonished at it. And I will scatter you among the nations, and draw out a sword after you. Then your land will become desolate, and your cities waste. Moreover, the land will enjoy her Shabbats, as long as it lies desolate, and you are in the land of your enemies. Then the land will rest and enjoy her Shabbats. As long as it lies desolate, it will rest, because it did not rest during your Shabbats when you dwelt upon it. And upon those who are left of you, I will send a weariness into their hearts in the land of their enemies, and the sound of a shaking leaf will chase them. And they will flee as if fleeing from a sword, and they will fall when no one pursues. Also they will fall one upon another, as if they were before a sword, when no one pursues, and you will have no power to stand before your enemies. Therefore you will perish among the nations, and the land of your enemies will consume you. And those who are left from you will rot away in their iniquity in the lands of their enemies. Also, they will rot away in the iniquities of their fathers. If they will confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass, which they have trespassed against me, also that they have walked contrary to me, and that I too have walked contrary to them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies. If then their uncircumcised hearts are humbled, then they will accept the punishment of their iniquity. Furthermore, I will remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Yitzhak, and also my covenant with Abraham. I will remember, and I will remember the land. Also, the land will be left of them, and will enjoy her Shabbats, while she lies desolate without them. Therefore, they will accept the punishment of their iniquity, for surely they despised my guidelines, and because their soul detested my customs. However, because of this, while in the land of their enemies, I will not completely cast them away, nor detest them, breaking my covenant with them. For I am YHWH, their Elohim. Also, for their sakes, I will remember the covenant of their ancestors, whom I brought forth out from the land of Mitzrayim, in the sight of the nations, that I might be their Elohim. I am he who exists. These are the customs and guidelines and teachings which YHWH made between him and the children of Yeshariel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moshe.
Chapter 27.
And YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Yeshariel, and say to them, When a man performs a vow, the value of the person is determined by YHWH. And this is the value of a male who is 20 years old until 60 years old. Your value will be 50 shekels of silver, after the shekel of the sanctuary. Yet, if it is a female, then your value will be 30 shekels. And if it is from 5 to 20 years old, then your value for the male is 20 shekels, and for the female, 10 shekels. And if from a month old to 5 years old, then your value for the male will be 5 shekels, and for the female, your value will be 3 shekels of silver. Also, if from 60 years old and above, if a male, then your value will be 15 shekels, and for the female, 10 shekels. However, if he is poorer than your value, then he will present himself before the priest, and a value will be set by the priest according to the ability of him who has vowed. The priest will set the value. Furthermore, if a beast is what he brings for an offering unto YHWH, all that he gives of such will be separated unto YHWH. He will not alter it, nor exchange it, a good for a bad, or a bad for a good. Also, if he exchanges it at all, beast for beast, then it and the exchange will be separated. Yet, if it is an unclean beast of which they do not offer a sacrifice unto YHWH, then he will present the beast before the priest, and the priest will value it, whether it is good or bad. As you, the priest, value it, so it will be. However, if he redeems it, then he will add a 5th part of it to your value. And when a man separates his house to be holy unto YHWH, then the priest will estimate it, whether it is good or bad. As the priest estimates it, so it will stand. And if he who separated it redeems his house, then he will add a 5th part of the money of your estimation to it. Then it will be his. And if a man will separate unto YHWH a field from his possession, then your estimation will be according to its seed, an omer of barley seed at 50 shekels of silver. If he separates his field from the year of Yubal, according to your estimation, it will stand. But if he separates his field after the Yubal, then the priest will reckon to him the money according to the years that remain, until the year of Yubal, and it will be abated from your estimation. However, if he who separates the field redeems it, then he will add a 5th part of the money of your estimation to it. Then it will be assured to him. Yet if he does not redeem the field, or if he sells the field to another man, it will not be redeemed any more. However, when it is released during the Yubal, the field will be holy unto YHWH, like a devoted field is devoted. Its possession will become the priest's. And if a man separates a field unto YHWH, which he has bought, which is not from the fields of his possession, then the priest will reckon to him the value of its estimation until the year of the Yubal. Also he will give your estimation during the day it is separated unto YHWH. In the year of the Yubal, the field will return to him from whom it was bought, to him whom possesses the land, and all your estimations will be according to the shekel of the sanctuary. 20 gerahs will be a shekel. Surely a man will not separate the firstlings, which are the firstlings unto YHWH, from the beasts. Whether ox or sheep, they already belong to YHWH. Moreover, if it is from an unclean beast, then he will redeem it according to your estimation, and add a 5th part of it. Or if it is not redeemed, then it will be sold according to your estimation. However, all devoted things that a man devotes unto YHWH, from all that is his, from Adam and beast, and from the field of his possession, he will not sell or redeem it. Every devoted thing is a holy of holies unto YHWH. All from the Adam who are devoted for destruction will not be redeemed. Surely he will be put to death. Furthermore, all the tithes from the land, of the seed from the land, of the fruit of the tree, is unto YHWH. It is holy unto YHWH. Yet, if a man redeems from his tithe, he will add a fifth part to it. And all the tithe from the herd or from the flock, of all that passes under the staff, a tenth will be separated unto YHWH. He will not search whether it is good or bad, nor will he exchange it. Yet if he exchanges it at all, then both it and the exchange will be separated. It will not be redeemed. These are the commandments which YHWH commanded Moshe for the children of Yeshariel in Mount Sinai.